Okay, so welcome to the Node.js Node add-on team meeting for April 25th, 2025. We'll follow our standard approach of going through the issues in the project board. Before I share that, any announcements people would like to make?
I don't have any announcements.
Okay, so here, I'll share that then. So we can take a look at things in done. Anything there worth mentioning or discussing?
I don't think so.
No, okay. Not be thread to say function. I don't know if there's any update on that. I haven't heard anything from Gabriel, who was going to take a look at that. So,
No, I don't think.
um, I guess the things in progress. Vladimir, I wasn't feeling well today, so he's make it. So I don't think there's an update on the libnode side. Um, just looking through to see if there's anything worth discussing on those.
I don't have any.
Okay, to-dos, anything on the to-dos that you have? I don't think anything
Um,
specific I have there.
Not really.
Okay. So then we can look at new things. This one, test failures on AIX, I did take a look at yesterday and I managed to get the CI passing. It has to do with the dependency that's being installed. That's not needed to run the tests. It's related to linting and stuff like that. And it is one of the dependencies needs some, like it's installing a native thing and it kind of needs to know about different platforms for some reason. Like it recently there was a patch that said like work around an npm bug, and it's got checks for like Linux and Windows, so it needs an update there. But the net is the CI is back to green, and I've got the person on our extended team. I've asked if they could take a look at it on the AX side.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Um, Looking at other ones that are new here. So
I think,
this, go ahead.
um, yeah, right. I think I'm going to talk about this one.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, I submitted this request because there is another request opening that's linked in the issue the pull request description. The main reason that we need this new test is that had two we had 3 lines of comment in the source code that says there are possibilities that a user code can delete a finalizer when they are when these finalizers are scheduled. So during the finalization run, the finalizers can the finalizer queue can be changed. So that's um idea behind that why we need this test. So previously we only set this behavior in the comments, but we did not have any test case to verify to cover this behavior. And the pull request that's linked in the this pull request description will crash the new tests
Okay,
introduced in this pull request.
right.
So that's the intention that um why I submitted this new test to cover the behavior.
Yeah, and I think yeah, that makes sense to me. In that yeah, like a new test that validates behavior we expect, then definitely it's a good thing. I assume are any
Yeah,
the failures like they're just our regular flakes, I assume.
yeah, I just had a quick check. I think
Yeah.
these failures are not related to this change because we
Okay.
only add a new test case and this new test case is not failing.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Good point. So just resume the build again here, I think.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Might as well click that.
I think no worries. It's just that the request CI label will fail if there is no approval after the new commit, but I think it resumes it. I will not fail because um it does not perform the trusted commit check. So I think that's fine.
So, but was there a change pushed to the PR after?
Yeah, I adjust several Radomir suggestion on the
Okay,
podcast. So there is a new commit after your approval. So
okay,
it'll be good if you can take a look again so that we can when we need to land this pull request, it'll need another approval anyway because
right.
yeah,
Okay, because yeah, I think definitely that, like, I'm not sure actually whether it, like, I think the whole thing was like, we don't even want to run the CI on something that doesn't have an approval on it. So anyway, okay, I added my approval. If it needs to be restarted or whatever, then
thank you.
yeah, no problem. Thanks for putting that in. Let's see. It's going back to our, okay, maybe that's, no. So back to the backlog here. Okay, so we talked about this one.
Yeah,
This one just looks like probably more updates unless there's some, yep, unless there's
we
a,
can leave it open and
right.
the bot will keep updating the pull request
Okay,
and we will if we find it's mature to merge, then we can merge. But I mean, we are not in a hurry to merge this dependency request, and the bot will keep updating it
okay,
when there are new versions of
right, okay. So
dependencies.
we can maybe choose to just do it once every couple weeks or something.
Yeah, like every month.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This one I think is relatively new. Let's see, 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you've already discussed that in the last couple meetings that I
I
wasn't at.
think last week it was canceled, so I don't think this was covered.
Okay. So I'm gonna actually open it as a separate, can I do that? I wanna, okay, there we go. Nope, I got the wrong. Okay, sorry, I'm still just trying to get this to. Okay, again, I want it to be in another, open a new tab. Okay.
Oh, a quick look at
Yep,
the issue. It seems to me that there is a timed callback and colon execute callback timer,
right,
which is executed on a UV callback directly without a like a thread function or any other node API on stack. So
right,
they will need to open a node API handle scope manually to suppress the V8 check on the handle scope.
right. Okay.
So it's on the timed callback column execute callback time. I think it's a one like
One right
yeah,
here.
this it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you can see that the API object new should be scoped in a API handle scope.
right. So like do you want to add that comment?
Yeah, I can add it.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. So it's basically, and so because it's actually the title, it basically says I can't do it without a handle scope, right? So I guess explaining why you do need a handle scope.
Yeah,
Uh, okay, you can comment on that one. That's good.
yeah, I can comment on it.
Sounds great. This one.
Yeah. I think this is the progress that we were um
Right, okay. Yep,
saying that this protocol changes a internal refactor a internal behavior that did not fulfill the commands
yep.
describe the behavior,
Okay,
and we don't have a test case covering the behavior that's been described by the comments. So that's
right.
why we need a new test
Yeah,
um, that we just talked about. And yeah, and I verified that this new change will crash the valid use case that covered by the new test. So I think that's the reason that I don't find the new change is a valid change.
right. Okay. So it's basically, is it that like it just can't be optimized at all, or is it just the current implementation isn't correct?
Um, would you mind change to the files
Yeah,
changer tab?
sure.
Yeah,
Oops, sorry. Probably want this one, right?
I think the intention here is that the author wants to use the um state swap operations rather than the um iterator operations.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I mean, it was already straightforward enough. I'm not sure it could be an improvement to change it to be swap based. So, but anyway, in either case, I think we should still fulfill the behavior that's described by the comments. Like we
Yep.
should be careful about that in the queue, the finalizers can be removed during the iteration.
Yep.
So the swap operation does not cover this behavior and it's causing a crash on a valid use case. So either way, um, either we need this refactoring or not, we will need to be cover the case where the queue might be changed during the iteration.
Right. Okay. So it's uncertain if there's an optimization that can be made, but certainly this isn't it from your work and new test case, right?
Yeah, I don't mind about the change. I just need to confirm that the new change does not crash a valid use case.
Yep. Yeah, no, makes sense. Okay, so that one we'll wait to your test lands, and then if the us or they and then if they come up with some other change that passes, we can look at it at that point.
Yep.
Okay, add normal method to convert. I see. So the suggestion might be like some sort of template that would convert this into something like that, right?
Yeah, I think it's fair. We can probably add that, and we, I'm not sure if we have some label to describe this issue as feature request.
Let's see.
Probably enhancement.
Yep. Okay. I guess the question would be okay, so if we said seems reasonable,
And probably ask the author if they would like to submit a pull request for that. I think they already have a possible implementation described in the issue, so
right,
probably you can ask them to submit a pull request.
does that comment sound right?
Yeah, cool.
Okay,
It's
throw
good
that
to
on
me.
there, yeah. So I'm going to say, should we leave? I guess we should leave that one in the needs triage,
I think
basically
this
say
can
yes.
probably be a to-do, right? Because we identified that it was doing. It's
Okay.
just that no one has picked it up.
Okay, sure. Sounds good.
Yeah,
So,
and I think we can probably move some of the issue we talked about to in progress, like the pull request that adds a test
right, yeah,
and the pull
definitely.
request that
Okay.
we have been removed.
Yeah, this
We
one,
have
right?
removed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
This one too, actually.
Yeah.
Is in progress. This
I
one.
think I'm going to comment on this, and probably it should be done. So I don't think
Okay.
I'll handle it.
Okay, sounds good.
And
This
this one
one is,
can be removed in progress as well. I
yeah,
think we are reviewing it.
yep. No, sounds good. So then, okay, so we're basically here.
Um, we took a look at this one weeks ago,
Okay,
and we thought it would be great to have your idea on it because it is on a CentOS,
okay,
which looks to me to be a Red Hat related issue.
yeah,
The issue here issue on this one is that the person is trying to compile an add-on on CentOS and then trying to run it on a Ubuntu system.
right,
And the issue here is that this mixed up um, is causing a crash on the standard library. So I'm not sure if it's a mixture of the different standard library versions due to
right.
different operating Linux distributions.
So is built on CentOS and run right. So basically, you'd expect, like, I know you definitely need to you probably build on your earliest glibc level, right? Or standard CPP level.
Yeah, I recall that CentOS 7
Yeah.
was like retired years ago. I'm not sure. Um, like I I my idea was that if it's compiled on a old distribution, it should
Yeah.
work on a newer version of distribution like Ubuntu 22. But
Yeah, as long as like the glibc is forward compatible, which I think they're supposed to be.
yeah, but the author said that um if they compile it on CentOS
Yeah,
and run it on Ubuntu 22 and it doesn't work. So I'm not
right.
sure what's happening here. Um, but I mean, I don't have a CentOS machine, so
So this works for Node.js 20 and older. But it fails on 22.
worth mentioning that both Node.js 20 and Node.js 22 expect Red Hat release Red Hat 8. So CentOS 7 is not a Red Hat 8 release, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's an interesting because like certainly I think like current versions of Node, like or Node 22, current version like Node 22, I think, and I'd have to go see even which versions of Node can compile on CentOS 7. Because like the newer nodes need a newer version of the compilers and
Yeah,
the thing. But the add-ons being compiled like that is an interesting question.
I think the 20, not just 20, just bumped the requirement, but didn't utilize the features because
Right.
I used to try compile Node.js 20 on an older version of the Linux distribution, but
Yep.
and it succeeds. but for 22, we might adopt newer features. But I mean, it's still not supported officially because we didn't run any tests on it. So
Right, yeah. But yeah, it is interesting that so that's, yeah, so it's not, hmm, okay, well that's, yeah, it's probably got something to do with the standard libs and stuff like that, but where, it'll be interesting to say, do you have the exact versions of the compilers you are using as well? Same costs. So I think that would be interesting to look at to see, like in terms of glibc and so forth. So yeah, I'll try and take a look at
cool. Thank
see
you.
what's going on with that one. So for mine.
For Windows, I know that there is a um, matrix for each Node.js version
Yep,
of supporting Visual Studio compiler, but I
yep.
didn't find a matrix for Linux to of support the toolchain or compiling a Node.js add-on.
Yeah, I mean, I think my initial thought is that generally, like as you go forward in glibs, like as long as you're on older, it should generally work, but I could be wrong about that. So we'll have to take a look. It could also be one of those things where like maybe there's a problem all the time. It just sort of shows up in that particular combination. Worth
Yeah,
taking a look.
cool. Thank you.
The next one, haven't done anything about that, but like the CI runs basically on main now. We'll need to apply some of the changes that were made for other CI jobs to be able to launch this on non-main, but I haven't had a time to look at that. So I guess I can put that as a to-do really. And this one, I guess we can say to-do as well, or maybe there. Closing, so this one. Okay, so I guess there was some questions we asked.
I think the last time that we reviewed this,
Yeah,
the conclusion was that the person, the author of the issue,
yep,
conflated multiple um problems
yeah,
in this single issue, and we are not exactly understanding what they are trying to do.
okay.
And it seems to us that the issue is in the add-on itself. It's not in the um node add-on API. So yeah,
So I guess it's a follow, should there be a follow-on, like, can would the ask be that they make a simpler thing that just replicates the problem they're having? Or what's kind of like they said, let's focus on this, but what would be the next step
Yeah, I mean,
be?
what do they expect Node add-on API to do regarding the issue? Because it seems like it's an issue, it's a crash in the add-on, not in Node add-on API.
Right. Let's say persistent ref to file handle. I guess, like, if we mentioned Valgrind at all in this, I don't know what platform they're on. But would it be reasonable to suggest that they use Valgrind? Because that would highlight if they're using something after it was already deleted.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fine. Go. Right, we even have a section on native add-ons in there, so okay. Okay, so I think that takes us to the top of the needs triage, or top of all the lists, actually.
Yeah,
Is there
looks good.
anything else we should chat about this week?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, well, thanks for your time, and thanks for always a good meeting. So we'll see you in GitHub and next time.
Thank you. See you on
Okay,
GitHub.
thanks. Yep,
Bye.
bye.
Have a good weekend.
You too.